I started guitar at 54. I'm 59 and a half now, 5 years in. If you're thinking about starting guitar later in life, I'm going to explain to you what it's actually like. When I hit 5 years, I thought I was going to feel like I had arrived, you know, there was going to be this moment where I realized I was just this guitar player. No, that didn't happen. But what did happen is actually pretty interesting. And I think if you're learning guitar later in life, or you're even just thinking about it, it's the stuff that nobody really talks about. You know, there's experienced guitarists out there in their 30s and 40s that can teach you guitar and give you tips, but they don't actually know what it's like to be a beginner in their 50s or older, like I do. So that's what I want to do today, just to be honest with you about what 5 years actually looks like. Not a highlight reel, not a polished version, what it actually looks like. Okay, the first thing, my hands figured out what my brain couldn't. In the first year, I could not make a clean chord change to save my life. I'm kind of exaggerating, but that's kind of how it was, especially with the F chord. I got frustrated enough sometimes that I threw the guitar. This is my 5th guitar. I've thrown 4 guitars against the wall or smashed them on the floor, or I think one of them I hit the dog with it. No, I mean, it felt like kicking the dog. I never did any of that. I've never smashed any guitar. But I was pretty bummed out by the fact that I couldn't learn these chords. It took a long time, months, years, I don't know. But around the 2nd year or 3rd year, I'm not really sure. I kind of stopped thinking about all that stuff, and it was like, wow, I can do this. There is such a thing as muscle memory, and my fingers just went to the chord shape. But I realized that it just takes longer, at least for me. The older we get, you know, these things sometimes take a little bit longer. Anyway, but eventually it does happen. There is muscle memory, and you can get to the point where you can play these chords like what I'm doing right now. They're pretty clean, and I'm not looking at my hand every time I have to switch those in. It knows where to go, right? Okay. It eventually clicked, and I don't know if you can notice, it was pretty exciting at the time. All right, let's move on. The second thing, I quit. I quit, Mark. No, I didn't quit, right? I quit. Oh, I kept quitting. No, I never quit. It was more like this. I had those temper tantrums in my brain of smashing my guitar, you know, but I never actually did that, like I said before. But I've been frustrated enough with myself and had some pretty serious negative self-talk about what a loser I am, and wondering if I ever was going to catch on. But I kept at it. Not necessarily because I was inspired by someone or because I watched a motivational. Well, I might have read a motivational text, or not a text message, but something online when I would key in or enter into Google. I'd do a search, you know, is it normal for a guy my age to be so slow at learning acoustic guitar? And of course it would be like, yes, this is perfectly normal. Don't worry about it. Just keep at it. Okay, I was like, oh good. All right, I'll keep going. But my main reason for keep going and not quitting is because I love the instrument. I love being able to play an instrument. That's it. And I think that's kind of why guys our age, women our age, people our age do this. It's for the enjoyment of it. To me, it's a very rewarding hobby, and it helps keep me mentally sharp. Imagine that. I need all the mental sharpness I can get. All right, here's the third thing, and this one kind of surprised me. I stopped measuring the wrong things. What do I mean by that? Well, in year 1, I measured everything. I had these unrealistic expectations of where I should be at a specific time. Like, can I play a full song yet? Can I do a bar chord? How many songs do I know? But by the 5th year, I stopped thinking that way. It's like I don't look at it that way anymore. I look at it like, did I have a good practice session? Did I have fun today? Did I enjoy the time I spent with this beautiful guitar? That's it. And that shift in my thinking was a huge relief. I mean, just that's it. Just enjoy. I mean, you got these just basic open chords. Don't they just, oh, happy chords. The C. Beautiful, beautiful. That is so much fun. And I don't even care if it buzzed. I'll work on it. I had a buzzing string in there. Big deal, you know. I'm not impressing anyone. All right. That was, I mean, oh, I love that. These chords. Whew. Anyway, let's move on. All right. Here's a part I really wanted to get to. Okay. 3 more things. See, these things come in threes. All right, 3 things that I wish I'd known at year 1. Number 1, progress isn't slow, it hides. It's invisible. You don't see your progress from day to day. And that's the toughest part of learning guitar, in my opinion, later in life. It's not the physical difficulty, it's the fact that you can't feel yourself getting better most of the time. So, here's something. Okay, me at 5 years talking to my 1-year self, right? I would say to myself at year 1, Johnny, write it down. When you play something and you realize you couldn't do that 6 months ago, you need to write that down because you're going to forget. And on the difficult days, you need that evidence. You need that encouragement. You can look back at that and go, say, hey, yeah, I'm feeling discouraged right now and this really stinks and I don't want to do this, or I'm never going to get any better, and go, well, wait a minute. I couldn't do this 6 months ago. See, I wrote it down. Or look at that. I am learning. I'm making progress. Get it? Maybe you don't need that. I don't know. That's something I probably should have told myself back, or should have done. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But I still made it through what? I don't know. I'm at 5 years, 5.5 years playing, but I'm enjoying it. And that's, you kind of get the point. All right, the second thing is your goal can change, and that's fine. At least that's what I had to tell myself, because at first I had this goal or things thought, you know, that I was going to be able to play songs for family gatherings and that I was just going to be able to impress people. I had this, my ego was still kind of there. You know, because I went from playing drums for 40 years and performing and being in bands, all that stuff, and thinking, well, I'm just going to jump into guitar and be a performer there too, you know. But nah, that's not the case. I went from experienced drummer to total beginner on guitar. And so my goal had to change along the way. And I had to realize that, you know, that's fine. I'm not going to be able to do this yet, but I'll keep at it. And eventually, one day I will. And now it's not even a big deal. And stuff like pentatonic scales or music theory, I mean, you don't need all of that to be able to play music. And those are things that I wish I'd known back then. So if you're just starting out, you don't need to learn all that complicated stuff. You can if you want. I mean, if that's your goal, to be a lead guitarist and be able to, you know, noodle up and down the neck or whatever they call, play these screaming lead parts, then yeah, maybe you should learn all the minor and major whatever pentatonic scales and spider walk and whatever chromatic scales, I don't know what they're all called. Learn all that stuff, whatever you want to do. But for me, it's just for the enjoyment. I just play for the enjoyment of it. I play whatever I feel like playing. I pick the music that I want to learn. There's no pressure, and that's more rewarding than strictly following a rigid format. The goals change. Neither one of them is wrong. You're allowed to redefine what good looks like to you. I'd actually say that you have to allow yourself to be okay with changing goals. I mean, do you enjoy it? That's the bottom line. Then it's good. Then you're good. All right, the third thing. And here's where it gets, I like to say, where it gets real. While the hardest part of learning guitar is probably learning to be patient with yourself, or for me, being patient with myself, I'd say the second hardest part is showing up when you don't feel like it. It's about picking it up on a Thursday night, tired, and feeling like you'd rather just watch TV. Every single time you do that, every time, you're proving something to yourself, that you're someone who follows through and that it's not too late. That this matters to you. And that part means more to me than any chord that I've ever learned. I guess after all, you got to pick up the guitar and practice before you can play anything anyway. I'm not trying to make a joke of this. This is a lot of fun. It's just fun for me. And I'm trying to get that across to you. But there's some things, I want to be realistic about this. It isn't just thinking that, you're going to pick this instrument up and you're going to be able to play this thing in 6 months or a year or 2 years. But just helping you, kind of giving you some tips and hoping that you'll stick with it. Like I did. Well, yeah, sure. And you might be thinking, well, you had 40 years of drumming experience and you can do things and that's true. I can. But you can still learn. I mean, let's move on. All right, play whatever you want. Enjoy it, okay? I guess that's a point. There, stick with it, okay? And even if it's only 5 minutes. So I remember watching a video or reading something. I think it was a video. Don't know exactly. I don't remember who it was from. But they were talking about, if you don't feel like practicing, just pick it up for 5 minutes. Okay. And the other part of that too is keeping it readily available in your practice space where you're normally going to practice. Keep your guitar set up at all times if you can. I know it's important to keep them between a certain level of relative humidity, but keeping it handy, you're more motivated to pick it up and play it. And on the days that you don't want to, it's even more important. And on those days, just pick it up for 5 minutes and just start doing whatever, and pretty soon, before you know it, 15 minutes has gone by, 20 minutes, and you've done something, right? That's it. And that's the mentality I have on the days that I really don't feel like doing it. All right. Let's wrap this thing up here if we can. 5 years ago, I wasn't sure I'd stick with this, and I was overwhelmed by it. I was intimidated by this thing, and honestly, when I wasn't sure physically if I was going to be able to get these chords at some point, I'm like doubting myself, thinking, at the beginning, I remember I couldn't get these, and it just seems like it took so long that I wondered or doubted whether I'd ever get it. But I did. And I'm not a great guitar player, not by any stretch of the imagination, that's for sure. But I am still playing. And at 59 and a half, that's kind of the whole point. All right, if you're just starting out, or if you're thinking about starting, I really do believe I know, definitely, it's not too late. I mean, I'm proof of that. And I'm proof that you don't have to be great to have fun. You just have to keep going. Be consistent. Keep at it. Get started. Hopefully this video got you excited. And if you haven't started yet, that you're going to. And yeah, I got to wrap this up. All right, so if you're curious and you want to see a demonstration of my skills on acoustic guitar, that video is right here. I start playing at the 30-second mark. Maybe that can inspire you. And if you like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up and that you maybe consider subscribing to my channel, as it helps my channel. I really do appreciate it. And this was a lot of fun. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.